فأخرجهما من تحت الجبة. So he pulled it like that, and he stuck them out underneath his overgarment, right? So he was wearing an overgarment, so the sleeves were too narrow, so he wanted to expose it, he wasn't able to, so he did a little maneuver, he stuck his arm up underneath to wash his hands, because it tells you that the Prophet ﷺ made sure that he gets the water where it needs to go, right? فغسل يديه, so he washed his hands at this point. ومسح برأسه, and he wiped his head like he would do when he do. ثم ومسح على الخفين, and he wiped over the khuf, you know, the thick leather footwear that you're allowed to, you have a permission to actually wipe. You don't have to if you wear them. This is for those who don't know what it is. It's like a leather socks, thick, that you can wear after you do wudu, and you can basically, you don't have to take them off to do wudu. You just, you know, wipe with your fingers like that on top of them, and that's it. That's enough. And you learn that in the jurisprudence and the fiqh classes. And now all this is this introduction. فجاء رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, and he joined the army, right? وعبد الرحمن بن عوف يؤمهم في الصلاة. So the Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام and Mughira bin Shu'bah, of course, with him, joined, and they're ready in the morning prayer. وقد صلى لهم ركعة, أو صلى بهم ركعة. So they already prayed one rak'ah. Who's the Imam? عبد الرحمن بن عوف. فصلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الركعة التي عليهم. So the Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام joined like you would do when you come in and the Imam already started. Would join. ففزع الناس. So imagine this. I would love to see actually a video of how the Sahaba reacted to this very unique event. So they prayed and they turned around, and the Prophet by the way, the army was 30,000 people. So it's not a gathering of 50, 60 people. It's a huge number of people. I don't know if all the army was praying, but at least there's hundreds. So imagine they turn around, they see the Prophet in the back praying the second prayer, the second rak'ah, like you would do if you come late first. So naturally people are very confused. This is the first time it ever happened that the Prophet prays as not as a leader, but in the back. So you can imagine what went in their minds. Okay, is this okay? Are we going to have to repeat the prayer? Like what's happening here? So you can imagine the confusion that took place, and I can only imagine that the Prophet probably he did the second rak'ah very quickly, because they didn't want to leave him in the state of confusion. فلما قضى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال أحسنتم. That's the one word he said, just one word. And I like the narration, the version of Imam Malik, because that's all it said. In other narrations, it says قد أحسنتم or قد أصبتم. You did well, you did excellent. So he calmed them down. So if anyone asks you, did the Prophet ﷺ pray behind one of the Sahaba? Yes, it's Abdurrahman bin Auf. He did it with Abu Bakr also. He did it at the end of his life, but it was a bit different. When Abu Bakr was praying, and the Prophet ﷺ at his last days, and he had the energy to actually walk out and maybe, you know, and that was his last prayer. So Abu Bakr was so happy he stepped back. And the Prophet ﷺ advanced and he prayed, and Abu Bakr prayed, he followed him, and everyone else followed Abu Bakr. But in this event that we just mentioned, it's very unique, because I'm sure Abdurrahman bin Auf didn't even know that the Prophet was behind him. He probably thought that, well, he's probably not coming for some reason, so that's it, we're just going to continue. There's a lot of beautiful things that you can glean from or extract from this hadith. Number one, see how when the Prophet ﷺ was doing his business, when he's doing his, you know, there's always someone with him to help him. And this also it's a little thing that you help your teacher, your sheikh. Now you don't need to follow your sheikh to the bathroom. Obviously, we don't need that. But it's good to, if your sheikh or your teacher is like giving a class for like an hour, he's probably thirsty. It's a good idea to just give him a cup of water. This is birr also. It's considered as good ethics with the elder, with your teacher. So and this is what the Sahaba did with the Prophet. There's always someone who carried his shoes and his water and his things behind him. So that's number one. Number two, there's a permission that not all the time the Imam of the masjid should lead the prayer. No, that's why you see the Sheikh has always introduced some of the young people. Okay, go ahead, because that's okay. It's still acceptable. And they didn't repeat this prayer. They just prayed, and it was, he said, ahsantum. Ahsantum means you did excellent. That's what it means. And another narration says, qad asabtum, you did the right thing. The third thing, they didn't wait. Okay, well now, Salat al-Fajr, what's like an hour? You have an hour and 15, 20 minutes. So there's a really limited amount of time. You can't just keep waiting. You can't be paralyzed when the leader's not there. You have to make the decision. And the Prophet ﷺ encouraged that. They say if you lead a place, the first thing you have to do is find a successor for you, find a number two. You cannot be, you know how they say if you're the smartest guy in the room, then there's a problem. You always have to encourage people to step up, to be able to replace you when you're not there. So the Sahaba were not paralyzed when the Prophet ﷺ was not there, because he taught them to do that. And the ﷺ was never a micromanager. He never really micromanaged. He would pick the right person, give them the right training and education, and let them do their thing. Will they make mistakes? Yeah, maybe, but that's part of it. That's part of the learning. And a lot of scholars after that took Abu Hanifa, the great scholar. In his class, he would have, and his students are shuyukh, fuqaha al-ummah, right? And they would discuss to the point that someone would walk in and go like, "What's going on? Why is it so loud here? Don't you have respect your teachers?" He goes, "No, let them be. This will build their personality. Well, you don't want them to be followers all the time. At some point, they should lead." So I thought this was a beautiful hadith. There's a lot of, and this is a very unique event that took place. No one had this privilege like Abdurrahman bin Auf, that the Prophet ﷺ prayed behind him 1 rak'ah. And only one. See, contemplate about that. Only one. That's it. So, and it was a teaching opportunity for the Prophet ﷺ to teach them that this is okay. You can still do that. If I'm not here, you continue with your journey.
يروي الإمام مالك بن أنس في موطئه عن المغيرة بن شعبة رضي الله تعالى عنه وأرضاه قال: ذهب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لقضاء حاجته أو لحاجته في غزوة تبوك، فذهبت معه بماء، فجاء رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فسكبت عليه الماء فغسل وجهه وذهب يخرج يديه من كمي جبته، فلم يستطع لضيق كمي الجبة فأخرجهما من تحت الجبة، فغسل يديه ومسح برأسه ومسح على الخفين، وجاء رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعبد الرحمن بن عوف يؤمهم وقد صلى بهم ركعة، فصلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الركعة التي عليهم، فلما قضى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: أحسنتم. وصلى الله على حبيبنا وسيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك لا إله إلا أنت، أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.